speaking of sport, why don't we get into Serena Williams, tennis legend, tennis great. Serena Williams is now opening up about her iconic Super Bowl performance. I remember when she did some crip walking to Kendrick Lamar's infamous Drake diss track, Not Like Us. She is now claiming that she was not at all trying to diss Drake by dancing on that song, which, you know, I'm sorry, girl, but be so effing for real, okay? So she did an interview with Time Magazine, and she said, and I quote, there was zero shade being thrown. Absolutely not. I would never do that. And that was sad that anyone would ever think that. I respect how they could, but obviously I can see how someone would think that, but absolutely not. I have never had negative feelings towards him. We've known him for so many years. And then, you know, when it comes to whether or not she regrets even getting on the stage, doing the dance, being associated with the Drake diss track, Serena says that she doesn't know if she regrets it or not. I don't know the answer to that. The opportunity to get on that stage and amplify my hometown was just an exciting thing that I couldn't pass up, opportunity that I couldn't pass up. Here's my thing. Serena, I think you did that to diss Drake, and I think you should have done that to diss Drake because Drake has been harassing you and your husband for several years. How many times has Drake gone unprovoked trying to diss your husband or whatever? Like, he's done that so many times. And so I think that he deserved it, to be honest, right? And so why don't you just own it? Like, I think it's weird that you can say that your family or you guys have never had any ill feelings towards a man who has been talking crap about your marriage for years. That's, to me, that's not like something that's admirable. To me, that's something that's like, oh, that's sad. Like, you don't respect your marriage, you don't respect your husband or something. Like, why are you okay with, you know, your ex-boyfriend saying weird things about your husband? And on top of that, in the song, you knew what type of song it was that you were dancing to. It was a Drake diss track. You knew that you were going to be linked as co-signing it because you're his ex, and everybody knows he disrespects you. He disrespects your husband. And on top of that, there's a line in the song specifically made to defend you. Kendrick Lamar said that Drake better not speak on Serena because even Kendrick was clocking how Drake was so obsessed with you. He was like that obsessed ex that will not go away. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Just own it. Say, yeah, I did it and I do it again. I don't understand why you need to play dumb about this. I cannot stand when people play dumb. You, especially as a brand, a global brand, you knew what you were doing. And to me, it was iconic when you did it. I said, good, go stick up for yourself. Because typically, she doesn't say anything when Drake is on Twitter hating on her or hating on her husband. So to be able to say something without even opening up your mouth, and you're on the biggest stage of all, which is the Super Bowl halftime show, hell yeah. So for you to walk it back and try to act like that's not what it was, sorry, but go away from me with this, Apollo. Stop it. Same, Lucky, same. I don't like cowardice. I really don't. Tadisha says Serena just needs to be honest. She was dissing Drake, and that's okay. Exactly. We were all dissing Drake. All of us. Drake is done. Exactly. I actually don't think she was really. I believe he's a full non-factor in her life. But that song, it was a diss track specifically. And then there's a line defending Serena, saying that Drake should not speak on her. And then there she does. She popped out. East Austin says Serena's a liar because Drake was insulting her husband shortly before that performance. Exactly. Serena, own it. Own it. It is okay. You can diss Drake. The whole world is dissing Drake. Anyway, you guys, we keep the show moving because after this, I'm doing a members-only live chat. And we're going to be talking about Jace from Teen Mom. And I haven't even uploaded the photos. StreamYard was being weird, so I wasn't able to upload those photos. I got to get ready to do that before we get into that story. But there's a lot of Nene Leakes information that I want to share with you guys. Nene Leakes launched her YouTube channel, and I have to say, I'm taking notes about the set that she's using. It is absolutely gorgeous, stunning, okay? Beautiful. I want something like that when I start building my studio. And so she was talking a little bit about what's happening with Real Housewives of Atlanta, with them firing Kenya, why they had to hire Phaedra last minute. And I want to see what y'all think of her opinions. Okay, you guys, take a look.
And now Kenya's gone.
And how do you feel about that? Do you feel like the show will survive without her?
I feel like without having Kenya, it's going to be interesting. I would like to really see where this goes, because Kenya is a fire starter, and that is part of the entertainment that the viewers love, that Kenya is a fire starter. And to not have her there to start any fires, now I'm starting to think this is why they went and got Phaedra. They wanted Phaedra to try to come on and help save. That's what it feels like.
I would agree. I feel like some of the storylines are a little dry. Yeah. I don't really want to keep seeing, Drew and Dennis and Porsha. Yeah. Shamia and Porsha. That's just been a thing.
What do you think about Shamia? Oh my God, her lifestyle is everything.
I love seeing Shamia's family, and that, she was kind of sitting on this, and, she's not really boastful. So it was a surprise to me, and I just love seeing Black excellence. So to see her large home and just her family dynamic, her beautiful daughter, I love it.
Yeah, I do too. I do. Do you think she makes a great housewife?
She does.
Yeah,
she does.
I love this.
She embodies what a housewife is. I mean, she's married. Yeah, there's a lot of people on the show that are not
married with children, and they have a lifestyle.
And she works.
And she works. Yeah, even though her husband has this, a great amount of income, she still works. And that, I say this to women all the time. It doesn't matter what your husband is doing. You should work. Get out there and work, because you need your own money. When you just rely on a man to do everything, you're giving him all the control. And that you should never do.
So there you go. Did you guys see how beautiful her set is? It's gorgeous. I love, love, love the colors that she's using, the design and everything. And I think it's great hearing her share her thoughts. And it feels very professional that she's got someone, to kind of bounce ideas off of, almost like she's a guest being interviewed on her own show. Something about it is really cool. Hey, Nadia, nice to see you. Drake has so much pull. And I think that that's why people, although it was very cool and it was this big thing, a big movement, now I'm seeing a lot of people kind of like backtrack a little bit. And I'm with you. I find it to be very weird. I think he does deserve to be called out. So I liked Nene's opinions that she's sharing about like Kenya being a good housewife, Shamia, the Phaedra being called in to help kind of fill in the gap with Kenya's absence and whatnot. I think she's got a lot of really good, valid opinions about that, to be honest with you guys. And that's the thing about Nene, like with her being the greatest housewife of all times, she knows the game, right? She knows the game better than anybody. And so I think it's a huge compliment to be able to receive that sort of like kudos from her. East Awesome says Nene was an awful housewife on her last few seasons. I can agree with that. She was similar to Kyle Richards in that she didn't want to share and was barely interacting with the cast. Exactly. And to me, again, the crazy thing is that despite that, to me, she is still the gold standard, the best to ever do it. And it is sad that like there were those moments of her kind of being extremely difficult. Remember, they even had to stage an intervention because she was so insufferable, you guys, right? Nada says, yes, me too. And Tadisha says, I like Nene's opinion, right? She's really got it going on. And she did also, share some thoughts on Porsha and on Candy. Can someone fill me in on what she has against Candy Burris? And I didn't download this video, so I'll just tell you about it. But she was asked by that lady, like, who would you prefer to have sing for you, like at a live event you're throwing? Would it be Ashley Darby from The Real Housewives of Potomac? Or would it be Candy Burris, like the singer-songwriter from Escape and everything like that, her own solo career? And you know what Nene says? She would rather Ashley Darby sing. She hates Candy. Y'all know I love Candy. I think she's she's one of the best, like most genuine, people out there. I agree that her voice isn't the best. However, if I were throwing an event, I would 1,000% without question ask Candy to sing for me. Never, ever, ever Ashley. I thought it was really crazy and kind of disrespectful that she'd even say that, knowing, you know what that is? That's my protein powder. Guys, give me a second. I got to play a word from some of our sponsors and I'll be right back.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than RHOA. RHOA is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinically proven age prevention benefits such as average 14% wrinkle reduction after 4 weeks of use. Click the link below and receive 30% off your first purchase today.
Okay, so He should be coming up. Give me a second. So yeah, I saw Nikki's comment here about how Candy makes her feel inferior. And I do think it has to do with that as well, because she was always coming for her from the very beginning, and Candy had never even done anything to her. Give me a second, you guys. I think he's here. No. Not yet, so I'm gonna keep going. Jasmine says, I just hope Nene starts taking this seriously and keeps the consistency. She can really thrive if she put effort into her show. And I completely agree. Listen, she's definitely invested, at least financially, so I hope she continues to really bring it. Take a look at what she has to say about Porsha, okay?
When you marry somebody, they become first. Even your parents, it becomes second to the person that you're married to.
Now, you've hung out with Porsha and Simon, I think several times.
I have.
Do you feel like it was ever real?
Well, is this a game? Are we pleading? Because I plead the fifth.
It's not every day I get to sit down with you, so I have to know. Do you feel like...
Is this called sip and drink or something?
Okay.
I'm a drink on that one, honey.
Do you feel like Porsha loved him? Do you feel like Simon loved Porsha?
Yes. Simon loved Porsha.
Okay. We'll just leave that there.
Okay, you guys. It's here. I ordered some protein powder because I don't need enough protein naturally. I said, listen, I'm trying to get my gains. I want to have Tiana Taylor's body. I want to have Lori Harvey's body. Let me get some damn protein in here. So anyway, she really cannot stand Candy, and to me, it's like we were talking about earlier, right? Like Nikki was talking about earlier. It's because she feels inferior to Candy. There's a lot of weird things she would say about Candy, like Candy is hood, Candy is ghetto, she's this, she's that. Like very unprovoked. It was very odd when Candy was like the richest out of all of them, not only monetarily, but in experience as well. Jasmine says, I just hope Nene, we already talked about that. And I agree. I think she's got a good platform there. And the one thing I don't like about Nene is that sometimes she can take things to a very dark and ugly place. And so I really, really hope that, although she's going to be adding shade and like her own like commentary and whatnot, I hope that she keeps things like to a reasonable level, right? Because people do not like it when things get a little bit too dark and too ugly, right? Like, with the unprovoked comments about Candy, like Fly Above is a bop. And you know what else is another bop? Put it on and make a man marry me. I like that song. I think that's a funny, nice song. So yeah, you listen, I'm rooting for Nene. And you know what? In the spirit of Nene having her thing, and I'm with you, Luz, Ashley can never open up her yap and try to sing at any of my events. What about Kenya? She did a trailer for her show, but did she ever actually drop it? I'm still waiting. Nadia says, I don't want to hear Ashley. And again, neither Candy. And that's the thing. Listen, and you know what? Speaking of Candy, not only was Nene criticizing her music, she brought on one of like Candy's haters on the show. Someone that Candy used to work with from Escape, and then they fell out. Like this kind of like targetedness towards Candy is very weird. She's got a fixation with Candy, and I hate it. Thank you, Ashley. I'm going to be making my smoothies. I'm so freaking excited. Now, you guys, why don't we get into the Lisa Vanderpump story? I can't believe we're pulling this off. We had like 10 stories today, so many, and somehow we're pulling it off in a reasonable amount of time. And do you guys also believe, by the way, that Simon loved Porsha, but Porsha didn't love Simon? To me, neither of them loved the other. They rushed into things. They both loved the idea of each other. I think Simon loved the idea of a beautiful wife who was famous and can bring him that kind of clout and legitimacy and connections. And I think Porsha loved the idea of a husband who was rich and willing to share his riches with her, right? And that's why she was able to ship quit so quickly when that was threatened. Tadisha says, I hate the way that Porsha is crying on the show about her marriage when she knows she was going after Simon's money. Love was never there. Exactly. And then when she brought in like the daughter, where's Papa? Girl, your daughter should have never been calling that random man Papa. You barely knew that man. So why was it, stop it. East Awesome says, was it real? I drink too and say that's none of my business. Woo, period. And Nene was one of the first to call Porsha out for getting with someone's husband, right? She's like, really? That's someone's husband. Girl, you're engaged to someone's husband? That is weird. Jasmine says, I think it's supposed to drop sometime today. Kenya's YouTube video. Listen, she's late. That thing was supposed to drop like before. Oh yeah, no. See, you're right, Jazz. Today. I thought she missed her deadline, but no. Here's my thing. She should have dropped that thing on a Sunday or on a Monday. Why are you dropping it on a Thursday, girl? You're supposed to write off the fact that your show airs on Sundays, right? Come on now. East Austin says Lisa Vanderpump and Candy Burris have made most of their Real Housewives fame business after business promoted on Bravo. Exactly. And, you know, it's crazy to me that Nene has not been able to do that with her level of fame, to come and put out something that could be extremely successful. I will give her like her props for trying with her boutique and her lounge, but I'm sad that she wasn't able to do something bigger.